What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm in the city of Podolsk in Moscow Oblast. My first video actually in a city in Moscow Oblast. Podolsk, founded in 1627, is one of the biggest cities in the area around Moscow and is in the top 100 biggest cities in Russia. With a size of 200,000 people, it's comparable to the capital cities of many other oblasts such as Pskov. Podolsk grew rapidly in the 19th century as highways and railways were built, linking Podolsk to Moscow and the rest of the country. Before the revolution of 1917, Podolsk was among one of the most industrialized cities in Russia. Nowadays, Podolsk is of massive importance to the region, Moscow Oblast, hosting important industries such as thermal and nuclear power engineering. We begin, as always, like in every Russian city, here on Lenin Square, on Lenin Avenue, and right next to the Lenin statue, which you see at the end of here. Although there's a Lenin statue in most Russian cities, Lenin actually has a connection with Podolsk, as he came to the city at least twice to visit his family who lived here. So now we're here, let's go and explore this city. Resurrection of Christ Church, located here in Talalichin Park. A church has stood here since the 16th century, when this was a village called Podol, and it belonged to the monastery Danilov in Moscow. Between 1724 and 1728, the old wooden church was replaced by the current stone version, which you see behind me here. And after the construction of the Trinity Cathedral in the centre of the city, it became the city's cemetery church. However, during the Soviet era, the church and the cemetery were closed and the church's bell tower was destroyed. The church, like many other churches in the Soviet Union in the 90s, was reconsecrated, this one in particular in 1999. Like many cities here in Russia, in Podolsk they have a war memorial dedicated to the memory of those who died in the Second World War. And below the obelisk, at the bottom, like everywhere, an eternal flame. Behind me is Trinity Cathedral, which was constructed between 1819 and 1822 in commemoration of the victory against Napoleon. It's an example of the Empire style of church architecture with 5 domes, columns, and a 3-tier bell tower. It's the main cathedral here in Podolsk and stands above the rest of the city. In my opinion, Podolsk's most interesting and spectacular monument is this, the Podolsk Cadet monument. This impressive thing is made out of stainless steel and depicts 3 cadets marching into battle. Underneath, which is above them, you see a large star. It's dedicated to the cadets of the Podolsk military school who joined the regular army in the 1940s in putting pressure on the Nazis to buy more time here in Podolsk for Moscow to defend itself. Behind me here is the Provy Estate, a short ride from the centre of Podolsk and the main reason why people visit this city. The estate was first mentioned in 1627. It's probably most associated with the Golitsyn family who held the estate for over 100 years and were responsible for developing it. The estate house here, which was built between 1750 and 1753 by Prince Boris Golitsyn's grandson Sergei Alexeyevich, is quite a masterpiece. Behind the house, the steps lead down to the picturesque River Desna, and it's located on an estate with a beautiful lime tree garden. The main site of the estate, and really in Podolsk in general, is not the house of the estate but the estate's church, the Our Lady of the Sign Church. Prince Boris Golitsyn, a tutor and supporter of Peter the Great, had the church built on a hill right here where the River Desna meets the River Pakra. It was consecrated in 1704 and it's an example of Western European inspired Baroque church architecture and is unique among Russian churches. The white stone church is decorated on the outside with intricate engravings of flowers and inside with engravings of saints and angels. Its tower is topped with a golden crown and it's really a masterpiece of architecture and quite unusual for Russian churches. Seeing this church is worth a trip to Podolsk alone.